it's Rob here from Academy of Inner Resonance, and today I thought I would look at the crystal amethyst. Now the way these videos work, I do the scientific first, then a bit on the historical, then the energetic properties of the crystal, then where to use it in the energy field and in daily life, then the astrology, and then finally there's a bonus bit. Amethyst is a member of the quartz family, which is the biggest of the crystal families. It's silicon dioxide, SiO2. The colours it comes in are lavender to a darker purple. The colours caused by traces of ferric iron and natural irradiation. The inner system is trigonal and it's 7 on the Mohs scale in hardness. You can find it in clusters, geodes. It forms crystals in nature, pyramidal crystals, but also occurs in massive form. There's big chunks of it that get broken down to create the tumbles. It's found worldwide. Tumbles can often come from Brazil, darker pieces from Uruguay. The paler lavender comes from Veracruz in Mexico. Lighter pieces come from Madagascar, and when there's more red in it, it comes from Russia. There's also a variety called dogtooth or chevron amethyst, and this comes from Africa, India and Brazil, and it has stripes of white quartz in it in a V pattern. The name amethyst comes from the Greek amethystos, which means not drunken, and in the past they would fashion drinking vessels made of amethyst in the belief that if they drank from them it would prevent intoxication. I haven't got many amethyst drinking vessels to hand sadly in the house, so I can't really try it out, but maybe that's something you can do at home. Amethyst used to be regarded as a precious gemstone, but it's now seen as semi-precious since they discovered larger deposits of it in the 1800s. Amethyst has been used throughout history, both ancient and modern, as jewellery. Powerful dignitaries and merchants wore it in ancient Rome and Egypt, and it often decorated the tombs of pharaohs. Early Christians also associated amethyst with Christ, and interestingly it's also historically been seen as a gemstone for February and for Pisces, more of that later, and Pisces is of course a sign of the fishes. And the fish is also one of the symbols for Christ, so there's definitely a strong spiritual connection with this crystal. It was also a favoured gem worn in bishops' rings within the church because of its association with spirituality and peacefulness. And it's also a gemstone which is believed to have had significance to the Buddha, and this is why malas, which are Tibetan Buddhist prayer beads, often contain amethyst. Amethyst is a deeply spiritual crystal. When working with it in a class, I put a lot of amethyst in the centre of the room, geode, tumbles, clusters, and you can feel the vibration shift in the room. It goes very high, very still, very profound. It's a very sacred feeling in the room, very holy feeling. It also can feel intense, peaceful and calming. Because of the violet colour, which is the highest of the colour spectrum, it raises your vibration above that which would seek to harm you, so it's deeply protective. It's the colour of the violet flame, and it's also purifying and cleansing. Because of its stilling, peaceful, protective energy, amethyst is fantastic to help you to sleep, so I'd recommend putting a tumble of amethyst under the pillow and just tune it to give you a good night's sleep. It's also excellent for protection. You could carry a piece of amethyst around with you, a tumble, and ask it to protect your energy field while you're out. You could also put a photo of your house in a protective circle of amethyst, for example. Link them up. So just imagine with intent you're creating a circle of light around your house made of amethyst, and just keep that somewhere safe. You could also have a geode to protect your home. You could have a larger piece of amethyst somewhere inside, or a cluster, and ask it to protect your living space. It's also excellent for meditation. You could either hold a piece and ask it to help you to go within. Also, you could have a cluster or a geode in your meditation space, or just pieces of amethyst are fantastic. For bereavement, amethyst is excellent because it can help to give spiritual comfort and awareness beyond the physical. It's a great crystal to work with if you want to link to your higher self and who you really are. One thing with amethyst to be aware of is it's not good for depression because it's very inner, stilling and deep. Instead, I would choose a crystal like citrine, which is uplifting, joyful, outward and very sunny. Amethyst can actually go anywhere in the energy field, on any chakra. It does belong higher up naturally, So maybe on the third eye chakra, or especially the crown chakra, but actually it could go anywhere safely if you needed that vibration. I would associate amethyst with the sign of Pisces, ruled by Neptune. Pisces is a very sensitive sign. They can be dreamers, they want to escape, because actually this reality can be very painful for them. Often they can be very spiritual. They may want to be of higher service in some way. Pisces is a sign about letting go, forgiveness, compassion, in the same way that amethyst is also a crystal about releasing that which doesn't serve you anymore. It's a much higher vibration, very spiritual crystal, so there's a real affinity between these two energies. Amethyst and citrine are actually the same crystal. When amethyst is heated in the earth, it becomes citrine. Citrine also has a very high vibration like amethyst. It's the same crystal after all. The difference is citrine is joyful, uplifting, and is a stone of abundance. Just be aware a lot of the citrine on the market is actually artificially heated to make it more golden. It's the only crystal I'm aware of that it doesn't seem to affect its properties too much, but I will be doing a separate video on citrine at a later date, so do watch out for that. There's also a crystal called prasiolite, which is when amethyst gets heated even more in the earth and it turns a lighter shade of green, but most of the prasiolite on the market is also artificially heated or treated in some way. There's also a crystal called ametrine, which is a mixture of amethyst and citrine in the same crystal, and it has the energetic properties of both. One final thing to be aware of with amethyst is if you're cleansing amethyst, you would not want to leave it in the sunlight because it will fade. So if you're using a cleansing method, sound, water, sage, they're all great, but just don't leave it in the sunlight.